How to play ranked domination like pro. Hello you what's faces, Tygon here. Has this ever happened to you? Or have you seen the memes floating around? The enemy starts to take C and then you end up losing B or both B and C. So in domination, I haven't really seen any good videos about it. So I decided to make one based on ranked, and this will of course apply to casual like tenfold. So let's get into it. When playing domination, you need to be three things: adaptable, smart, and consistent. Adaptable basically means switching your class, switching your playstyle, and at least having one other person in that lobby that you're talking with or so they can also switch, because it makes way more of a difference and is so much easier than solo ranking. Next thing is being smart and not making stupid decisions, basically playing your role properly, and we're going to get into roles later, but just not running off and trying to be a slayer for no reason. Lastly is to be consistent, because yes, you might win the very first round of domination, but then you get comfortable and then you get taken out in the second round, so don't let that happen to you. But preparing for domination starts at the loadout. First off, guns. For your primary, you need to have at least one class with a sniper or an S36, or at least have someone in your group, if you're playing squads or something, with someone that has a sniper or an S36. A team that doesn't have one of these long range weapons that put pressure on the enemy will suffer. For SMGs, the MSMC is always a good choice, but don't count out the AKSU. It's very versatile and can hit pretty good long to medium range shots for an SMG. For your secondary, a rocket launcher is still viable and really good for domination. At least you can clear a whole area, or at least damage everyone in that area. Or you can use the MW11. It's an insane pistol, and not that many people use it, but it's really good if you know how to use your pistols. Next is perks. For your perks, you can choose a wide variety, but the ones I recommend are Flak Jacket, Dead Silence, and Hardline. These are the best way to go, and the reason why I recommend Flak Jacket, of course, is you're gonna have people throwing nades at you all the time, and you're gonna have people with sparrows, you're gonna have people with war machines, all of that. Then on top of that, as I said, people with their secondary is gonna be a rocket launcher, so you need to watch out for that. And then Dead Silence, that's just so you can be able to capture points. And lastly, Hardline, so you can activate and get score streaks faster, because that's going to allow you to win the game and also keep yourself pretty high on the leaderboard. For lethals and tacticals, by far the trip mine is the strongest, but a well-aimed nade can change the tide of a match. You can literally almost triple cap if you can get 3 people off of one nade. It's crazy, but if you practice it, you can get good. Speaking of which, check out my friend Valor's video on nades and some really cool nade spots you can use. But yeah, let's continue. For your tactical, either a smoke or a trophy system is needed, and that's pretty much it. Like, anything else is okay, it's good, but trophy system is going to be good for capping areas, and then smoke is just going to be good for stopping anyone that's long range. Now remember this, I'm going to get into roles. I know I said this before, but yeah, I'm going to be getting into roles. Smokes are for slayers and trophy systems are for defenders. Just think about it like that. So if someone's going out and being a slayer, a smoke is a really good weapon or tactical to carry around, because it's going to stop long range players like snipers and S36 users. Trophy systems are good for defenders or anyone that's an objective player, because of course you can capture the objective pretty well. For your operator skill, either war machine or transform shield. Anything else puts you at a disadvantage except for maybe sparrow. For score streaks, hunter killer drone, UAV, and predator missile are the best low level score streaks. Stealth chopper is also good. Now I think the best out of all these is probably hunter killer drone. It doesn't take that many points to get, and 9 times out of 10 you can usually aim it at a particular objective site, because there's going to be a lot of people there, so you just throw it in that general direction, and 9 times out of 10 it will hit that. And it's really rare that you ever don't hit your target with a hunter killer drone, so that's really good. And of course the predator missile, you can aim it, and then lastly the UAV is just going to show you where all the enemies are, and that's really good as well. Okay, but that is just the first part, guys, so stay tuned. We have to get into the actual tips. So before we start off though, you guys all are using the directional ping system, right? It allows you to direct your teammates to where enemies are and just warn them and stuff like that. But yeah, let's continue. Now we're getting into the roles. There are 4 types of roles: the Slayer role, the Objective role, there's both a passive and aggressive for this, and then the Defenders. Slayers get a lot of flack because people think all they do is go for kills and end up making the team lose, but that depends. Slayers are very important. There's just a good Slayer and a bad Slayer. You need to remember though that not everyone can be a Slayer, but that doesn't mean you can't get kills. A good Slayer needs to disrupt the enemy's flow, it needs to change the enemy's attention, it needs to stop enemies from being able to cap. A good Slayer will be pushing around objectives to clear an area so teammates can cap. A bad Slayer will play the game like it's a TDM and stay in one area just trying to get kills. Snipers can be Slayers, but you gotta be good and you gotta be honest with yourself. If you're good enough to be a Slayer with a sniper, okay, but if you know you're not that good with it, you're just basically, you should go for the Defender role. If you are a Slayer, this is your objective. Make sure you are not making spawns flip unless necessary, which basically means if you're on a certain map where a certain site is better, go ahead, push up, and then you can get the spawns to flip, and that way it will be way easier to cap. Of course, if you are a Slayer, ARs and SMGs like the MSMC and the Type will serve you well. Also the S36 because of how OP it is. Next, the objective players. There are 2 major types. The aggressive ones trying to capture as many points as possible, literally diving for the site and killing themselves just to get it, which, hey, that's some dedication. But if you are running this role, then you should have the transform shield with the trophy system. It's great, and it's even better if you have another person like a friend and they have a smoke. That's going to be almost impossible to stop when someone's trying to cap. The other type are kind of like Defenders, but they are the ones recapturing your home point, whether it be A or C, and their objective to keep home flag. So basically, they're going to be running between B site and their home site to make sure no one is capping, and they'll be recapturing it if someone does. Now, these guys are kind of like Defenders, which we're going to get into now. Lastly, Defenders. They are running from B to A or A to C to make sure no one's trying to steal and stopping those who push. This is the role of snipers, LMG players, and marksmen, or semi-automatic snipers. So S36, just literally anything that's good at long range. If you are playing this role, you should be in a power spot. A power spot is a spot where it's easy to pick off kills where you're not exposed as much. Also, if you are attacking these guys, they will be in power spots around the map, so you can't just run in head first. You must go around, and a great way to counter is with the smoke. Now, think about going around. For this, you should probably use the perk Hardwired so you don't trip any trip mines. Now we get into strategy, how to win. B flag always equals winning, point blank, unless you're on scrapyard. In that case, a good strategy is just to capture objective A and C and have a sniper scoping from A all the way to C with others scattered about and around trying to make sure anyone doesn't capture A and C, but that's just for that map. One major rule is to be on the objective the least amount of time as possible, spread out, and just try to stop enemies from getting to the objective. You guys, you and your teammates don't need to be on top of each other. That's how you get double killed, and it's just really bad. Now, if you're trying to camp an objective, I see, okay, so if it's a good power position, yeah, then go ahead, but you don't need 2 people on an objective. Regardless, the best thing to do when you're first starting out is to rush B early on and get those first kills. These are crucial. And as I said earlier, someone with a carefully aimed frag grenade can completely stop an enemy's advance, so make sure to practice your throws. And as I said before, check out my friend's Valor's video. I actually was in it, I helped make it. But yeah, let's continue. The team that caps B early on is more likely to win. The Slayers should push past putting pressure on the enemy team. So if you have a whole team, right, everyone's trying to cap B, the Slayer should just go a little bit further if they can, put some pressure on the enemy team. By doing that, as I said, they're distracting the enemy team, and that's better for everyone, meaning the objective cappers can get it pretty easily. Now, it's always good to try to have flankers taking the enemy's home objective, and that's good because it's just going to take pressure off of your teammates that are trying to capture B, and it's going to put more pressure on the enemy team, meaning they will most likely not get B. Now, let's say you're a team about to get triple capped because of the strategy I just mentioned. You need to have at least one person help you secure your home objective. It's worth losing B to not get tripled, because at that point you basically lost the game. So what you can do is spam the ping system. This is of course if you're not playing with a squad. If that fails, try to recapture your home objective yourself. If that fails, next just apply pressure from afar, so get into a power position and just shoot at them. If your teammates are still too dumb and they're trying to capture B, at this point just join them. You basically join them or die, because you're more likely to capture B and possibly get out of that than get triple capped. So if all else fails, just go ahead and rush B with them. Now let's say you get A and B capped on you early. Keep fighting for B, and if it seems impossible, then go ahead and flank for A. It's better than just sitting there continuously trying to get B when you're just losing, well, not necessarily losing points, but the other team is gaining points on you. Now, of course, only maybe 2 people should go and try to cap A, because if too many people are going, the enemy will notice, unless you guys are literally just all going. So it's pretty much all where everyone goes, or like 4 people go, or like 2, because 3 enemies gonna definitely notice that, and it could be a problem. Whereas if you just went all, you're gonna probably be able to destroy or take out the 1 person or 2 people they have guarding that particular site, and just mess up their whole flow of mojo. Now, another scenario is if no one captures B. In this point, if everyone's tied, no one's captured B, the best thing to do is just to really play campy and watch your back. So if you're a defender, you need to go put a lot of pressure on B, literally scope on that junk, and even spray, pre-aim, pre-fire. If you're a Slayer, run around and put a lot of pressure on the enemy team so it's not as easy for them to capture B, and then your team can actually go ahead and capture it. But it's still fine. You will be able to go ahead and capture it in the second round. So if it's a tie match, you do want to play aggressive, but you want to defend at the same time, of course. So don't give up B, but it's better to just keep it tied rather than going ahead and losing a whole bunch of players and then losing B. Now, the last scenario, the one I mentioned in the intro, when you have B and C and the enemy starts taking home point. Well, only 1 or 2 people need to stop this. The best people to stop this are people with long range weapons, defenders, so either a sniper or an S36 player should go for this. I mean, a Slayer or someone with a SMG could go for it, but it will be easier for them to do it depending on the map. 2 people need to be applying pressure on the enemy team, and 1 needs to be defending B. And remember, no one should be on the objectives or too close to each other, because that's how you get easily naded. Now, you need to watch your teammates. If 1 person goes, then you should probably stay. Use the ping system to let people know, and to let people know if you're going or where you're attacking from, so you guys just don't all run over there and get destroyed. Or lastly, find the middle ground where you can stop people from attacking C, or stop people from attacking your home objective and protect B at the same time. A good team should have at least 1 Slayer, no more than 2, and that's really pushing it, 2 defenders, 2 objective players, and 1 passive and 1 aggressive objective player. So this is just a pretty good model. Now, it doesn't have to follow it to the T, but I think it's pretty good. And once again, I'm going to tell you guys, be quick to adapt and change your loadout, please. Because if you're running a sniper, you're not doing good with a sniper, change your role. Or if you're running a sniper and you're trying to be aggressive with a sniper, go be passive, camp, or be a defender. It's better for you to get that win than for you just to run out and keep on getting killed. If you don't have that skill, you don't have that skill. You practice next time and you come back harder and stronger. But that brings us to the end of the video. If you are still here, you're one of 2 people. 1, you really enjoyed this video, and if so, please leave a like and consider subscribing. I post COD Mobile content, well, I'm trying to post daily, but you'll probably see a video from me about 3 times a week. Now, 2, if you're a really dedicated subscriber, and I want to say thank you so much. And if you really do enjoy my channel, it would mean a lot if you could just recommend it to one person. Once again, thank you for all the support. This channel's growth has still been phenomenal. But that's all. Adios.